On April 7, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that Moscow hoped that Russia's military activity in Ukraine could end in the coming days in the near future. He added that it is possible to end the military operation in two ways, or the Russian army will achieve its military goals. Either Moscow and Kiev will reach an agreement through negotiations, which depends a lot on Ukraine's willingness to agree to the terms offered by Russia. In addition, Mr. Peskov denied allegations that Russian troops massacred civilians in areas near the capital Kiev and said that it was fake information, according to RT Radio. In addition, Mr. Peskov also acknowledged that during the military operation in Ukraine, Russia had a significant loss of troops and was a great tragedy for this country, according to CNN. He said the reason for Russia's withdrawal from the Kiev and Chernihiv regions was not a setback but an act of goodwill in the negotiations between the Ukrainian and Russian delegations. On April 7, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that Moscow would continue negotiations with Kiev despite actions that Moscow considers provocative, the TASS news agency reported. Lavrov also noted that Kiev presented a draft agreement on April 6, which is different from the terms it presented at talks in Istanbul on March 29. He said that Kiev's failure to agree to the agreement only prolongs the negotiations, or even destroys it. Lavrov said Ukraine suggested that the Crimean and Donbass issues should be brought up at the negotiating table between the presidents of Russia and Ukraine. And this is a proposal that Russia considers unacceptable. Andrei Yermak, Chief of Staff to the President of Ukraine, said that the fight for control of Donbass will be a key point in the current Russia-Ukraine war. And this will determine what happens next. In addition, he said that Ukraine fought hard to regain the regions such as Kiev, Kharkiv, Chernihiv, Sumy, Mykolaiv and many other cities, the Ukrinform news agency reported on April 7. On April 7, a local official in the town of Borodyanka, Ukraine accused Russia of being a war criminal when an airstrike on this town killed 26 people under two collapsed houses. Soon after, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the town of Borodyanka was being cleaned up and that the situation was much scarier than in Bucha. He said that Russia is a threat to human security, to human rights and to freedom, CNN reported. The United Nations General Assembly has suspended Russia's membership in the Human Rights Council because of Russia's comprehensive and systematic human rights violations in Ukraine. Soon after, Moscow also announced its withdrawal from the agency, Reuters news agency reported. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko said that the Minsk government wants to enter into peace talks with Russia and Ukraine. He said that the Russia-Ukraine war happened right next to Belarus and seriously affected the situation in this country. Therefore, Belarus must have some role in the outcome of the peace talks, but there cannot be separate Russian-Ukrainian agreements that Belarus is unaware of, RT reported. On April 7, the European Parliament approved a fifth sanctions against Russia, demanding a complete and immediate embargo on the import of Russian oil, coal, nuclear fuel and gas. In addition, this agency also requires the complete exclusion of Russia from the SWIFT International Payment Information System and international organizations, including the United Nations Human Rights Council, Interpol, the World Trade Organization, WTO, UNESCO. In addition, the resolution also recommends that the European Union, EU, continue to send more weapons to Ukraine, RT reported. Although this resolution is supported by the majority of EU countries, there are still some mixed opinions. For example, Ireland's representative, Claire Daly, said that the sanctions did not deter Russia, but left EU citizens facing inflation, rising energy prices and falling living standards. During a meeting of ministers of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, on April 7, NATO agreed to further strengthen Ukraine's support, especially in the military, according to Ukrinform. According to NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg, NATO countries believe that it is better not to provide exactly what weapons to send to Ukraine, while at the same time assuring Ukraine that NATO will provide a wide range of weapons systems ranging from the Soviet era to the most modern. In addition, NATO countries are stepping up humanitarian aid and financial support to Ukraine. The organization also discussed what the bloc can do, including helping with cybersecurity and providing equipment to help protect Ukraine from chemical and biological threats.